should probably get the pork butt out. Yeah, buddy. That's right. We're back. We're grilling with the General again, and today we are going to do a Boston butt, or pork butt. Not to be confused with the lower piece of the butt, which is the pork shoulder. So yeah, let's get this bad boy trimmed up. It actually doesn't look like a whole lot of fat on this. Pan here for some extra trimmings, which, by the way, we're going to use these trimmings and we are going to make some more sausage. All right, let's take a look. Let's get a little bit of this little flaky crap off. And you can trim this as much or as little as you want. A lot of fat on the cap here. You're definitely going to want to use a sharp knife. And be able to grab, which I am not doing right now. St. Patty's Day weekend coming up, so wanted to get this in and smoked. Maybe make some carnitas, even though I know that a carnita is not at all St. Patty's Day food, but that's what we're doing anyway. Fat on that, I don't think you guys can see that. Just gonna skirt across. Probably could have a sharper knife, but this will work. We're just gonna go around and take off any little hangy pieces. More of that fat there. And again, trim as little or as much as you want. Fat is flavor, as I hear. But at the same time, I want to get rid of some of this harder stuff. All right, she's all trimmed up. And then for our binder, I'm gonna use a good old bit of Worcestershire. And you don't have to use a binder either. It's not a requirement. Some people use mustard. Some people use hot sauce. We use olive oil. But today I'm going with some good old Worcestershire sauce. Get that in there. The Traeger Saskatchewan rub. I'm gonna go kind of thick with this, just because it's such a huge piece of meat. You're not gonna penetrate the whole thing, so don't be scared of it. I know we're probably looking, it's all gonna come right off anyway, but once we get it all settled in, then I'm going to hit it with my Traeger anything rub, and it really is perfect for anything. hit it with the good old-fashioned all-purpose meat church. And this I'm gonna hit kind of heavy. Oof, look at that. That is pretty. Man, it smells good already. Creep in there. Again, not scared about putting a lot on here. Looks like I'm gonna have to order some more. All right, so we got everything trimmed up. We got our binder on there. Got some really liberal seasoning happening. Now we're gonna let it sit for about maybe 45 minutes to an hour. Let that really soak in. If you had the time, it's always better to put that extra time in. Let it really adhere to it. But if you needed to do it, I would at least do at least 15 minutes. But the longer the better. You can actually throw this in the refrigerator overnight. Put it back in your pan, cover with some tin foil, let it sit overnight if you want. And yeah, and then we'll come back and get the Traeger all fired up. We'll see you back. All right, thanks. All right, so this thing has been sweating out for a little over an hour and 45 minutes. We got our Traeger Ironwood all fired up and ready to go. We're gonna smoke this at 225 on super smoke. And yeah, we're going to insert our meter probe right there in the center. And then we're gonna smoke this bad boy until we get an internal temp of 165. And I'm gonna spritz it with apple cider vinegar every hour until we hit that 165 mark. This is a 9-pound pork butt, so I'm guessing we're looking at anywhere between 8 to 10 hours before we hit that mark. And then we are going to wrap it, which I will show that later. All right, let's get it on the grill. All right, nice little chilly day here in Pittsburgh. Beautiful skies, nice, cool, 37 degrees. And let's make this happen. All right, there she goes. See her in a little while. Alright. Let's do a little bit of spritzing here. Apple cider vinegar. See you in another hour, buddy. All right, we are back. Got everything we need to get started. Had a little technical difficulty there, so we missed the entire video of probing it and making sure we were all good, but I can assure you, if you can see that or not, we're right at 165. So this bad boy is ready to come off, and we're ready to take our next step. We're gonna leave the meter probe in. You can see this sucker is pretty big. I mean, that thing is pretty. Always use good butter. I think with everything, if you use the good ingredients, you're gonna have a good product. Kerrygold is the best. And yes, as people say, butter is flavor. You may not like it, but it is. So we're gonna cut some slices off of this. And we have a hungry cat that loves pork, apparently. I'm just getting these cut out to get ready. I still have to season. So I'm gonna do that next. So I just want to get these laid out and ready to go. All right, and this thing is hot. Obviously we know it probed at 165, so I'm gonna put the gloves on so we can manhandle this thing. Smells good, huh? I know. I agree, buddy. I agree. All right. So, oh man, that just looks ridiculous. So ridiculous. So we're gonna get a. I love meat church fajita rub. You can use anything. It doesn't have to be the fajita rub. I just love it on the pork. Man, this pork feels really good. I just love it on pork, so that's what I'm using today. Do a nice liberal coating here. Now you can also put just plain old salt, pepper. You can do nothing. You can use exactly what we use to get her on. Yeah, really down. So that's a pretty decent coating there. Now we're gonna put our butter. You could also take and put apple juice. We got a lot more butter than I thought. That's a lot of butter. That's a lot of butter. That bad boy's gonna come out nice. So we'll get these gloves off. Because now we're gonna wrap it in aluminum foil. I use a pretty heavy duty foil for lining the drip pan in the Traeger. It's just cheaper. I got, an 18-inch by 500 square foot box of aluminum foil. So I got tons of foil to line that. Hopefully you guys can see that there. We're just gonna cover it up. That's a little bit better there. There we go. And we're gonna wrap it tight. So now we smoked for right around 4.5 hours at 225 on super smoke. We spritzed every hour. So we had 4 good spritzes. I used a little bit of apple juice that I had left. I wish I would have saved some to dump in here. And some apple cider vinegar. And we spritzed that every hour. Once we started getting up to temp, it had a little bit of a stall, kind of like a stall you would get on a brisket, where the last hour and a half, almost 2 hours, it just kind of sat there at 159, 160, kind of fluctuating. So I cranked the heat up to 275, which is going to be our finishing temp. So yeah, we're all wrapped up. We're gonna throw this sucker back in the Traeger at 275 until we hit an internal temp of 205 degrees, at which time we'll pull it off and do the unveiling. All right, we'll see you back. Whew, it's been a long day with this thing. So we put it on right around 4 o'clock today. Smoked it until we got to right around 165 internal temp, which I feel like it took about 5 or 6 hours. We wrapped it, threw some butter in there, a little bit more the fajita seasoning, and then cranked the heat up to 275 to pick this up a little bit. We're sitting at 11:15 right now. So a good 7, maybe 7.5 hours, I would say. But we're gonna let this puppy rest for about 30 minutes. And that cook is gonna carry over. We got our meter probe in there, so I know we're a little bit over 200 degrees. That is hot. That's a lot of juice. That's a lot of juice. Oh, the smell. Oh, that smells amazing. All right, so we're gonna let this rest. We're gonna get our fat separator. I want to get all of this out, all that juice and the butter, the fat from itself cooking in that. So yeah, all right, we'll see you back in about 30-45 minutes and make the rest of this happen and give ourselves a bite before bed. All right, we'll see you. All right, we are back. We're looking at roughly, what was that? Right around 35 minutes. So now we're going to put the gloves on because I'm sure this bad boy is still going to be hot. We're going to take it apart. And then have myself a little, might as well say midnight snack because it's pretty darn close. I went ahead and did the fat separation. As you can see there, all that goodness at the bottom. I'll be separating that out and saving it because obviously I'm not going to eat all this tonight. Planning on having some pulled pork sandwiches this weekend. Here in Pittsburgh, we have our largest St. Patrick's Day parade in the United States. So I will be attending that. And then afterwards we come home and we continue eating and of course drinking green beer. So I'll be putting all this away. Yeah, so you can see it's still hot. Kind of like it better when the bone like slides out a lot better than that. Some of it kind of stuck on there, but let's get this out of here. Ooh, wow. Look at that smoke ring. That is nice. Man, the smell is ridiculous. Wow, that looks really, really good. I'm just gonna rip it open. Let's see what we got. Oh man, it is falling apart. Now that's juicy. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can see that all over. Oh, we just got a squirter. So yeah, really nice smoke ring on there. Very juicy. So still hot. I always get myself in trouble by eating hot stuff, but let's give it a sample. Man, that's good. Got a nice bark on there. Yeah. That's really good. So it's just a little over 2 hours. So total cook time based on the meter probe was a little over 5 to get us to 165, and then another 2 hours and 20 minutes to get us to the 205 internal. And then from there, we let her rest for another 30 minutes. And now we're done. And now we get to enjoy some more. Look at that. That's really good. All right, so I'm always said don't talk with your mouth open, with your mouth full. So if you like what you're seeing, like, subscribe, hit that notify if you want to be notified every time I'm posting videos. Hoping to pick this up a little bit, get my ass in gear, and start producing some content. I love grilling. I love cooking. This year I'm also going to mess around trying some gardening. Stood up a little greenhouse. Maybe we'll do a little video on that. But hey, the more likes I can get, more people that subscribe are going to help motivate me. So yeah, I appreciate it. All right, have a good night, and thanks for grilling with the General.